Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be going over one of my ladder matches. There's not technically a ladder, but they do have a hidden MMR where you go up against, like you queue for a match, and you go up against someone who's supposed to be close to you. I think currently I'm facing people around the top 20% or so in the in the MMR ELO system. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of play through the replay here, and I'll probably speed it up a little bit, play it on 2x, and then we'll kind of talk about things. We'll talk about what I'm learning from my mistakes as I'm on my journey of ranking up in the ladder, and hopefully you'll get something out of that as well. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We'll bump it up to 2x, and for this game, I'm going to be playing English. I think that's probably the civilization that I'm the most consistent with as of right now. It's probably the one that I've put the most hours into. I'm a StarCraft player. I'm relatively new to the Age of Empires franchise. I never played AoE 2. I never played AoE 3. So I'm really having to kind of claw my way up and learn the mechanics of how everything functions and do my best to kind of go from there. But anyway, I'm going to be playing English, and I'm going up against the RUS. And this is going to be the map where we kind of spawn left and right. Lots of timber here. So right now, just trying to be efficient. Come across his scout there. Just trying to see as much surface area as I can. Went with the gold first, and then we're going to head on over to the lumber. Lumber, very important for the English. Obviously, those longbows, you're cranking them out super fast, and they take a lot of lumber. Gonna be just gathering up as much as I can here, and then once I have this many, it's probably time to come drop some off here. So when I see mistakes that I make or things that I could have done better, I'll do my best to make note of that for you as well. You can see here I'm leaving 2 on gold. So my thought process here is I don't need gold as much as I do lumber. So as long as I've got the 200 to go feudal and start my council, we'll go ahead and head down that route. I usually start feudal with the English, somewhere between 16 and 18 supply. It just kind of depends on the map and what's going on there. Now, I could have... Okay, good. Okay, that was a really bad mistake on their part to lose that scout there. I was going to say, if they get close to being dead, I can pop off my villagers and try to get a pot shot there. The villagers for the English, they do have that ranged capability. But not a huge deal for the RUS as much as the other civs, because they can crank out those scouts from the multiple different buildings that build them. The hunting cabin you see here can build the scout. So what I do is I start my feudal, and then I kind of just rally workers to it as they pop out. That way I can leave all of my economy functioning how it was. You'll see some people go ahead and they'll actually drag workers over to it. I like to leave it just as it's functioning, and then rally my new workers to it until I've got about 4 or 5 on it, and just kind of go with the flow and try to hit feudal somewhere between 5 minutes and 5:30, typically here with the English. Bring those sheep back. We're still doing good here. I don't think I've done anything too terrible yet that I would change. We are going to be heading down to kind of sneak some fish food supply. Fish are amazing. If you can ever sneak and take advantage of water, you definitely want to go ahead and do that. You could also try to kind of push in the middle and take advantage of this, but I thought I could hide this from them and kind of keep it out of their sight. Now, one mistake I did definitely make was I thought this was deep water fish. I'm sitting here playing fast with my APM and moving around, and I thought that this was deep water. I didn't notice that there's a shore kind of in the middle here. So, silly mistake there to think that I had access to deep water fish when I did not. So definitely want to take note of that. We're just going, this is pretty standard so far. I'm just playing standard macro. We're going 1-1, 1 racks with the double pump of the longbow here. The advantage of the English. And right now I see that he has got a lot of scouts kind of masked up. That's pretty normal here for the RUS. We're able to get our pump rolling. I try to hotkey my dock on something separate so I can make sure and keep an eye to make sure I got fishing boats on a constant pump. I can see that we're both kind of trying to see what's going on the hill. I will lose that, so I've got to pull back. And then we both just kind of have a truce. Like, okay, we'll both take watch of the hill here. And I was gonna stay there as long as he let me and be like, okay, I'll try to see the hill here. We're pumping out. I'm trying to, if I know he's going to attack me from either here or here, so I'm trying to keep my military mostly ready to respond there. Wouldn't have been the worst idea to try to throw up some walls, but I feel pretty good with my military and how I'm sitting based on what he has in terms of all the scouts that I saw him pump out. If I was going like against French or something, I may be trying to get some walls. And you can see I'm using a worker to kind of spread like just random homes around so I can kind of get vision of what's going on around the map. Still got pump going. I need to get and that was really good for me to kind of get some free picks there. So I want to see where I'm at militaristically before I start aging up. This was kind of a bad response on my part. I should have had things ready in this power alley here to defend. So that was kind of bad on my part. If we see how the workers are sitting, I am currently at 48. My opponent is at 37. So a pretty nice little macro advantage there so far. I've been doing a good job of kind of macroing up and managing everything. The hidden fishing expo definitely helps that. And now I've got traders kind of being pumped out, and we're gonna start. I didn't want, so the further you place this away, you're gonna get more of an income from it. It's gonna kind of scale with the distance, but I didn't want to push out too far, kind of up into here, and start having to really spread myself thin. I'd rather just guarantee myself the income there, without getting too risky. See, I'm still kind of spreading houses out just to keep an eye on what's going on. And right now I'm going to start aging up. That's a pretty good spot in the game to age up. About 12 minutes. We're going to get that started. And I'm going to put it up here where I can get some lumber. You really need a lot of lumber with the English, especially if you want to be able to push into any siege or anything. And when I start booming up with the production of the double town center, and I've got villagers really cranking out, then I can start adding more production onto here, and get more barracks and maybe add on stables or siege or whatever you also want to tech onto. More map vision. We're just kind of spreading out houses. Really, the only mistake I've made so far that's like glaring, obviously I'm not playing perfect, but I would say the most glaring mistake I've made so far was dropping a couple villagers there when I wasn't properly watching over and keeping vision of the alley here. And now he sees my expo. How am I going to react here? Not very good there either. I definitely have a hole in my game of managing villagers, so I need to work on that. A little bit better here in terms of stopping, and I have to know he's going to come around here, right? Tell me I'm prepared for this. I still lose one and did not respond super well there. Okay, so in this game so far, I've probably lost about 5 or 6 villagers that I should not have. And that's really the separation between your decent players and your really good players. It's just little things like that, making sure you you prevent those small losses. And they have now just hit castle, but I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at, kind of based on what I've seen his raids be. I've had my blacksmith cranking stuff out, so right now I saw him on the gold over here. I'm going to try to put an end to that. He's got a lot of villagers on that gold. Drop some heals. And he did a poor job of managing these villagers. Losing like 12 villagers there is just brutal. And you do not want to get in a longbow versus longbow mid-game fight here versus the English for sure. So right here, I'm feeling pretty confident. I've got my base rolling. I was able to get another TC, age up to castle before him. I've got my blacksmith rolling out the upgrades. I've got the 2 racks. The macro is sitting pretty well. I am currently at 124 supply. My opponent is at 58. So right now, I feel great about where I've kind of managed to get everything rolling. And now I'm going to start to take a little bit of map control. Just make sure, I can't really end it right now without any siege or any rams or anything, so I'm just going to make sure. I could have probably gone around. Yeah, I could have definitely gone around it. That's a hole in my game for sure. I should have done a better job of skirting the edges. Hit this, hit this. Yeah, I could have definitely done a better job instead of just kind of staying pat here and taking the middle. So that is mistake number 2 of a really bad mistake that I made that I could have played a lot better. So English have this really cool ability called Network of Castles, which is why I want to get something down here in the middle to take advantage of that. Where if I ever fight here, I'm going to get that big increase to attack speed. I've got my scout seeing if he's going to be trying to do any shenanigans down here, and I feel good about my vision on the other side and also in the middle. So right now, I'm feeling very good. I just basically got to keep my macro pumping, keep traders going, make sure I'm staying broke, spending my resources. I did a bad job of managing gold. I need to also keep an eye on that. So now you see me cranking out a ram. It's good positioning for me. I've got the archers clumped up behind my meat line of spears, and that is an absolute disaster for him. The game is completely over at that point. And there you see that he knows that as well and is going to go ahead and drop the surrender. So, talking points there. Villager management could have definitely been a lot better. I did a good job, a decent job of map presence. And kind of, we'll go over the timeline here so you can see the different kind of total unit count, military count. Yeah, so yeah, villager management, being better about anticipating where the attacks are coming from, especially versus a civilization that's got horsemen like the RUS, the French. Whenever you see them having lots of that going on the map, you got to be on your toes with your villagers. My gold management was kind of poor on the economy. I did a good job of pumping out traders, did a good job of macro overall. My military count was thrashing my opponent. So the macro was pretty good. I need to do a better job of skirting the edges also. When I've got a military advantage after I squash them in a fight, I need to do a better job of pushing that. Just trying to find a hole in their base that I can inflict pain on. So all in all, a pretty solid game. Would give myself like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Definitely wasn't perfect, but we're trying to do our best to learn and move up the board here. So that's gonna do it for this one. I hope it was fun for you to kind of see my perspective on a match, and I will also show losses as well. This last day, the last gaming session I have, I went 3-0. But if I come across a good loss, I will show that as well. I'm not only gonna show wins. So that'll do it for me on this one. Thanks for watching. Peace.